Racine?
Yes.
Dr. Warwick?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, what brings you in here today?
So lately I've been having some issues with getting adjusted to working and being in school, and then also maintaining my relationship with my boyfriend. Um, we currently go to two different schools in two different cities, and it's just been kind of like a struggle. I guess more so maybe I feel like on my part because I don't know exactly how well the relationship is gonna last, how long it's gonna last. So I guess that's really my only concern with things right now. The school thing, I am getting adjusted. I feel really like at peace with everything, which is really weird because in the beginning I was like very anxious about starting school again, and especially working at the same time, working full time at that. So yeah, that's that's pretty much it.
Sounds like you have a lot going on.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I mean, at times I do feel overwhelmed. Like lately this past week, like I just felt very irritated. I don't know exactly what came over me, but it was just like everybody that was like texting me, talking to me. I'm like, no, like stop. I don't want to talk on our conversation. Um, I don't know. I do get in those periods like where I am just I don't want to be bothered. I want to be left alone. But I don't know if it's more so because I feel like it's like added stress on me now with everything going on, or I don't know, maybe if I'm just tired, because that's another thing too, exhaustion. Like I'm tired all the time now. Like I just feel like I'm just like I get off of work and then I go to class, go home, go to work again. Like I just feel like a hamster in a hamster wheel, like just constantly going and going and going, and I don't know. Like I'm already feeling like I need a vacation. We just got into this, so I don't know.
So you're basically feeling like you're doing everything nonstop without any rest, and it's leading you to just pure exhaustion?
Yeah, definitely feeling like that. I tried to, break it up. My birthday was a week or two ago, and I just felt like I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Like I literally celebrated my birthday for 2 weeks because I had friends that came in town from St. Louis, and there was a mishap with my boyfriend actually, where I ended up having to kick him out of my apartment. So that's another thing. Like that's what that's what I'm talking about when I say I don't know how our relationship is gonna last, because I I don't know. Like he doesn't act. He's not acting different, but it's just like I'm getting to the point where I'm okay without him being around. Like we literally have lived together since our junior year of college up until now. So it's new for me, it's new for him, but I feel more at peace with it than he does. And I'm just feeling like eventually, like I'm just gonna be like, okay, I have school, I have work, I can't balance a relationship on top of this too, and still maintain my sanity at the same time. So literally, when I found out that me and my boyfriend were gonna have to like separate, well, move, live different places, I was happy about it. I was nervous, but I was happy because I feel like, and this brings back to my relationship, he is very dependent on me. Like literally, like how your mom will help you clean, or all that stuff, like clean up your room. That was me to him. Like that really was me to him, and it just drove me mad. Like I'm just like I shouldn't have to tell a grown man like, oh, you should clean up, company's coming, or oh, the bathroom needs cleaning, it looks nasty. Like I can do all that on my own now, like freely. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
And I'm sure you would felt that this dependency was stressful considering you already have so many responsibilities in graduate school and work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even before grad school, like it used to stress me out because I would come home, like we would both work full-time jobs, and I would come home and it would be like automatically like, oh, what are we cooking? What are we like? Why can't I just sit down and relax and, like I don't always want to be on my feet after work and he's always like, oh well, he's a truck driver, so oh well, I've been on my feet all day, or I've been driving all day. No, no, no. This is not about this. We're not doing those gender roles where I'm like the maid. I get off of work and I become maid Annie or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not. So that was another thing that like kind of pushed me towards like, okay, if we have to live separately, I'm okay with it just for this reason, because I need you to know what it's like to live on your own, to have to do your own things. Because even before we lived together, when we were in college, he's always had roommates, so he's always had people to help and to do things. And I'm just like, this is sweet peace. Like it's so good. Like I just want to see how well he does on his own, because it's just like you don't have nobody there. You don't have nobody to fall back on. Like I no, my mom raised me to be independent and take care of my stuff. That didn't happen with him, obviously. So it's just, yeah, no. Like I can't focus on nobody else but myself at this time. This is like literally my selfish period. Like if it's not benefiting me, if it's not helping me to do what I need to do, then no, I can't do it. Cannot do it. Like I mean, and if that means that our relationship has to like die down, I know he's gonna hate it more than I will, because I'm okay. Like perfectly, I can perfectly like give things a break. Like okay, you wanted to give this a break for a couple of months. Okay, cool. Like we can do that. Like we'll still be friends. Yes, no. Like I'm okay with stuff like that. He's not. He'll be in the corner crying. Like, and it's just like I try to prepare him for things like that. I try to tell him like, you need to get ready for us to not live together. You need to get ready for us to go to separate schools. You need to get ready for us to not spend as much time together and not be on the phone with each other 24/7. He doesn't listen until it happens, and then he's like scrambling, like, oh my God, what's going on? No, this is everything I told you that it would be. Like, I never lie. I never sugarcoat. Like, what if I tell you something's gonna be like that, and that's what I think it's gonna be that way. But I don't know.
So it sounds like he's pretty much over attached to the relationship.
Dependent.
Yeah.
Very, very dependent. And I'm not like that at all. Like I'm not. In the beginning, I take it back. When I was in the beginning when we had like first started dating, when I was in college, I was, because I had like a lot of friends like leave the school. Like they graduated, they decided that college wasn't for them. So me becoming friends with people was really becoming friends with new people. Like I was kind of closed off to it, because I was like, oh well, you're just gonna graduate or you're just gonna drop out. Like I don't want to be friends with you. So when I did meet him, I kind of like got attached to the relationship. Like I was okay, like he ain't going nowhere. Like he's gonna be in school too, and then he was letting me like stay with him and stuff. So he was being like very like open and warm and inviting. So in the beginning I was like that, but then once we got home, like graduated from school, no, like I was back around my friends. I don't know, maybe now that I'm looking at like maybe I didn't use him though. Like I mean we were together, but I was back with, like, he always had his friends. He always had that support system in college. Like, he's, like, Mr. Popular. Like, everybody knows him. Me and, like, everybody know I'm his girlfriend, but nobody is, like, friends with me. But when I got home, it was, like, I got around my people. So I was definitely, like, okay, like, I don't need you as much as I thought I did. Like, this is okay. And, I mean, even now, though, I still feel that way, but I'm not like around the same people. I'm not around like that friend group that I was around when I graduated, like undergrad. Like I'm more so like back closed off. But it's okay though, because I do have school to focus on. I do have work, so I'm using something else to latch on to. That's what it sounds like.
So how long have you two dated?
Um, it'll be 4 years in April, late April.
So a good majority of your undergraduate.
Yeah. Yeah, I met him. Well, let me see. Did I meet him? I actually might have met him my sophomore year. I honestly don't even remember. I want to say it was my sophomore year, but I don't think we started dating until junior year. And then even from then, like I lived with him like full time. Like I moved out of my dorm room and moved in with him. And then when we graduated school, we lived together. Like we lived in like 2 apartments after college together. So.
And it was, to clarify, it was due to the dependency that you threw him out?
That was not that wasn't it. He we so I have friends come back from St. Louis, and he we had went to they came to visit from St. Louis, and we had went to brunch, and he drank a little bit too much. So by the time, because we drove separate cars, so by the time me and my friend and him and the other person that were with us got back to my apartment, he was like out of it. Before we got to my apartment, we had made up a plan that we were gonna drop one car off, and we were gonna take the other car to this to the next place that we were going to for the day. Well, by the time we got back to my apartment, he was like, "No, we're not doing anything like that. We're driving separate cars. Um, I'm not taking any money for tolls," and just like acting just completely like difficult, literally difficult. So like even my friend, she was like, piping in like, well, why are you like, what do you mean? No, like I'll give you the money, and he was just like steady saying no, no, no. So I'm like, okay, it's one thing to be combative with me, but I'm like, there's other people here. We're trying to appease you. We're trying to make it rational of what you're saying, and you're not doing that. So I just was like, you gotta go. You have to leave. So I grabbed his stuff. I put it out in the hallway, and I told him go back to the cab because that's where he lives at now. He goes to NIU, and I was like, you need to go back to the cab. So with him being drunk, of course he left. Like he was upset. But I mean, I'm just not gonna allow you to be disrespectful in front of our friends because there was no reason for you to even be disrespectful in the first place.
So there was no serious escalation?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah. No, I mean, besides me putting his stuff out, like that was really the only thing, and I only did that because I didn't know what else to do. Like I couldn't see myself being like, okay, well, you could just sit here and no.
Yeah. Reason why I ask is sometimes sometimes that happens when confronting someone intoxicated.
Oh yeah, no, because I wasn't intoxicated. So
I thought I was referring to your
oh, yeah.
boyfriend.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but yeah, no, there's different levels of intoxication with him. Like, that was like the lower end of it. But he's not a combative person though, even when he is like belligerent drunk.
Okay.
If anything, he's just like you just be like, go sit down, like stop doing that. Like he's like a little kid, at like a store with a whole bunch of shiny stuff. Like, no.
I'm sure that also helped. That also helped with your adjustment to with graduate school and work.
It definitely did. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying like I don't know exactly if I'm gonna be able to maintain this relationship because things like that, outbursts like that, really make me feel like okay, like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say like I don't have time. Like I can't. I don't know. But I was telling. So we talked afterwards, and what I was telling him was like prior to that incident, we hadn't had any like mishaps. Like we hadn't had any falling outs. We hadn't had anything. Like everything was smooth sailing. So I'm like, I can't even tell you like, oh, don't do that anymore, or I can't use that as an excuse against you because it's only one incident. So, I mean, I don't know, like, it just definitely makes me, I don't know, I can't use that as I don't know. I don't feel like I can use that as an excuse, as a viable excuse to be like, oh, well, this is why we can't be together because you had this outburst. Like, that would be stupid. Like, I need, not saying I need ammunition, but it will have to be something a lot more serious.
I think we made a lot of progress in this first session.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice meeting
All
you.
right, thank you.